Our guest today is Sara Mueller, and she is a Harvard-trained emotional intelligence expert and international award-winning success coach and author of The Balanced Life Blueprint. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here again.
We were just talking before we went on air. You've done a lot. You've worked with the NFL Combine, which you explained to me is like the mental health area that they have to go through to get into the NFL.
Yes.
And behavioral health centers and Fortune Global 500 executives. You have done a lot.
I know. It's been a great career. I'm excited about that.
It's pretty awesome. And you
Yes.
have your book, The Balanced Life Blueprint, that's out.
Yes. Officially on February 18th, but I do have some pre-order copies that are rocking and rolling.
Just fabulous. It is so wonderful. Today we're talking about mentors and paid, unpaid, and everything in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mentors are so important. In my life, I had mentors before I really even knew what a mentor was. They were, they were a confidant. They were a teacher. They were many different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And never really knew what that was, never really understood it until, I started owning my own company. And then I was looked to by other people to kind of mentor them. And mentors are pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the benefits of having a mentor in your business specifically.
Okay.
And we can talk about it in life too.
Yes.
But I it's important.
Yeah. So I think that when I think about mentors, I think of them as like a time machine. And this could be in your business or in your personal life for whatever it is that you're wanting to excel at, because we get to really take the expertise and the wisdom and the learned experience from the mentor and use that so that we don't have to spend as much time and energy and heartache and tears and money to get to the same result that they have. And so it really is like a time machine that helps us to have success in a quicker way, which I don't know about you, but I like fast results. And I have so much that I want to accomplish in this lifetime that I want to keep moving forward.
I love that analogy because it is like a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm Back to the Future.
Yes. And so, I think the other thing that's really great about mentorship is that we can get mentored in whatever area we want to grow in. So it really starts with us understanding, well, what's the biggest opportunity for my business? What specifically does it look like? And then finding the correct mentor or coach that can help us to achieve that result that we're looking to get.
I love that because you're right. You can have one for the financial area because not one person is going to hit all those buckets.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So you could do financial, you could do marketing, you can have all of these people. And I call it filling my proverbial bench.
I like that.
Because I need people that are not necessarily in my business every day. It's like my board of directors, right?
I like that.
But they don't work for me. They're literally my mentor because I don't know everything and not any one person is going to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like getting a second opinion at the doctor.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have other people to bounce it off of to make sure that you're trying to make the most informed decision that you can.
Absolutely. And getting that outside perspective is so valuable, especially with someone who has already been there and done that.
Mm-hmm.
And so same as you, I've had a lot of different mentors and coaches in my life. I had a sort of a business launching coach. I've had a leadership coach. I've had a marketing coach. Right now I'm working with book and promotion coaching. And so when I've identified that biggest opportunity for my business, that's when I've then sought out that mentorship relationship, whatever that might be, whether it's, someone that agrees to come on and be your mentor sort of as a friend, or that is someone that you pay, which would be more like a coaching type relationship.
Right. Mm-hmm. Either way, it definitely impacts you with growing your business. So in your opinion, how can a mentor help you grow your business or succeed in your business?
So I think that they help you to see the outcome that you want to get to and to understand which steps to get there and to guide you through and to also hold you accountable. Because we a lot of us have great intentions, and if there's not someone or something that's holding us accountable, we can lose track. We can fall off of the direction that we're going. And so the mentorship role holds you accountable and gives you that insight and that sort of third party perspective that you and I talked about. I think it's really important when we're picking a mentor, we want to work with someone or have a relationship with someone that we of course connect with, but we also want to make sure that they have achieved what we want to achieve.
Exactly.
Yes, because there's a lot of people out there, there's, people who focus on studying or the academics and there's a lot of coaches and mentors out there that are, offering services, and it can get a little overwhelming to figure out which one you want to work with or you want to pursue. And so, okay, who has actually done the thing that I want to do, whether it's emotional intelligence or starting a business or having a successful marketing campaign, who has actually done that? And that's the person that I want to work with so I can gain all of their wisdom and their golden nuggets that they're willing to share.
And that makes complete sense because anybody can look good on paper, right? But what did you actually do? And I love the fact that you made a comment about education. So somebody could be, a professor of a certain area, but maybe they've not actually ever owned their own business. Two completely separate things.
Yes. And so I'm not saying not to seek out the education or read those books. There's definitely a lot of information in theory, but when you're looking at a specific mentorship or coaching type role, you want someone that has been there, done that to help you get to that same result.
Right. And this kind of goes into my key qualities that we should be looking for in a mentor. Number one, they should have done what you want to do.
Yes.
Right. Not where you're at right now, but where you want to go.
Yes.
What else would you look for in a good mentor?
Well, and I think to add on to that piece as well, they just need to be one step ahead of you, right? They don't need to be
10%.
And sometimes when they are, let's say I want to grow my business to, a multi six-figure business, but I only have, $10,000 in revenue. My business is just starting out. That might be a big leap for me. Or to say, I'm going to work with a mentor that's going to help me get to a 7-figure business. That's a big leap. But if I work with someone that's maybe just 1 or 2 steps ahead of me, it's a bit closer. It helps me to understand, okay, I could probably get to a 6-figure business from where I'm at now. So we want to have them ahead of us, but it doesn't need to be a huge gap.
Because if there is a huge gap, then your mind starts going, but I'm not there. How will I ever get there? Right. Like we trick ourselves.
And you might be able to work with that person once you're ready for that. But we really want to think about what is the thing that I need to accomplish right now. Let me work on that first. And there's always the time for further mentors. I think too, that there's the willingness, if we look at someone who is, I'm very grateful that I get to work with a lot of senior leaders, and they are at the end of their career and they are recognizing that they have gotten to the success in their career because other people have lifted them up. They've put them on their shoulders and pushed them up. And a lot of these leaders are wanting to leave a legacy and are wanting to pay back all of the great wisdom and experience that they got from those who mentored them. And so you really need to find someone who's willing to have that type of relationship with you, that's willing to invest the time. And I think there also needs to be clear identification of what is expected of that mentoring relationship, especially if it's not like a paid coach. If you're working with a coach that you're paying to help you achieve something, that's very clear. But if you're finding a mentor, someone who's willing to invest their time in you because they want to give back, like I was just speaking about, it's best to set sort of clear expectations of what this relationship will look like for both parties so that you're both happy and fulfilled with it.
That makes complete sense. Is your closet overflowing? Or maybe your kids' closets are as well. Or maybe you just want to redecorate your house. If you're wondering what to do with all that stuff that you've accumulated, bring it all to True Fashionistas or even ship it to them for free. They will sell your unwanted items for you, take away all the hassle by doing all the work, and all you have to do is sit back and collect your money. You can reach out to them online at truefashionistas.com, come into the store, or check them out on Facebook or Instagram, and that's truefashionistas.com. Welcome back, friends. We're in studio with Sara Mueller, and we're talking about the importance of a mentor in your business and really in life. I know I have had several throughout my life, not even really knowing that that's what they were at the time. And in hindsight going, wow, they changed my life. I mean, I can remember this high school teacher who to this day I still stay in contact with, and I've graduated 30 some years ago. And she has no idea what an impact she left in my life. And my first job, my first big girl job, it's the owner of that company was someone who really inspired me to start my business. And they probably didn't even know that.
Well, and I think that's such a great thing for us to touch upon here is that we don't always recognize the influence that we're having on other people. We're definitely impacting others.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can be a mentor to someone else the way that you live, the way that you act, the way that you work,
Exactly.
and giving that, that belief in someone and that positive comment. I remember one of my teachers from middle school who, basically told my parents that Sarah is going to be able to accomplish whatever she sets her mind to. And I still hear that. And that gives me the motivation to keep doing the work that I do.
And, I mean, we have to be careful because on the flip side, we've got the negative ones too, right? We should not put energy into those and to, really allow the ones that build us up to really give us that energy.
Yes. And it's funny because I am more of a person that's motivated by positivity. So remembering that middle school teacher that I just mentioned, but I've had other people speak about, this isn't a specific mentorship relationship, but those people who have said those sort of negative comments, like, oh, you'll never amount to anything,
Right.
or, don't even try to write a book because no one's going to read, that's pretty extreme. But I've heard of people hearing comments like that from their teachers, specifically in elementary, middle, high school.
Right.
And they sort of use those people as fuel to accomplish what they want. And in a way be like, hey, I can do this, and almost like told you so. And so, it's just kind of understanding how we're motivated. Again, for me, it's more positive motivation, but sometimes if that's enough to spark the light underneath us so that we can accomplish what we want, then amazing.
I'm actually tearing up a little bit because you struck a chord with me. Back in the day, growing up, I was the ugly duckling, glasses, crooked teeth, funky hair, everything. And I just remember not the people saying that I could never do something, but kind of being an outcast, right? Kind of being an outcast. And I draw on that every so often. Every so often, whatever, I don't know why, but it comes up and I'm like, kind of giving the middle finger to it and saying, screw you. No, I am becoming who I am and I'm pushing through it. And I use that to fuel me. But on the flip side, I also use that positive. So I think people can use both just depending upon what it is. And just growing up as that outcast made me really, really push to be and do what I'm doing today. So you struck a chord with me. I mean,
and I love, we've got to find, as business owners, we've got to find that fire from wherever we can get it. It's sometimes a long and lonely road,
It is.
So however we can support ourselves to keep moving forward. And then one thing I want to add to that is that, that mentor that you mentioned might not even recognize the impact that he or she had on you. What a great thing for you to send him or her a note or a message and let them know the impact. I think that would be really,
on an interesting note, I actually carry around with me in my handbag a rock. It's a simple rock. Someone had given that to me and said, remember the ripple effect.
Very cool.
Right? You throw a rock into a pond and how the water ripples out. Well, that's what mentors do. And they don't even know they're doing it. So for sure.
They're expanding their impact and their influence.
Absolutely. And this leads me to my last question, but or thought is, how do we maintain a successful mentoring relationship with someone?
I like to be really respectful of my mentor's time. And so this is a mentor relationship that's not like a paid coach, for example. And understand that they are really giving me something of value. They are very busy. They have a lot going on. And so the way that I feel like is best to maintain that is to really think about what you want to get out of your communication with them. So I've found that as I'm, I might have a question, and as I'm drafting that communication, I'm drafting that email to them, it's forcing me to get very, very clear on what specifically I want to ask. Sometimes just in getting really clear on what I want to ask that person so that I can really be respectful of their time, I gain enough clarity that I know which way to move forward. So I have a mentor that I might not even be in communication with, but I'm sort of thinking, well, how would this person respond to me? And as I'm getting clear on my question, I'm getting a sense as to what that answer is. And so just understanding that, being respectful, being prepared, knowing what you want to ask for. If you only have 5 minutes, what's the one question
Right.
or maybe 3 that you would ask? And then if there's a way to give back, being appreciative, but what can you do for them? How can you give back to them? They're probably getting enough from giving back as they're wanting to, leaving a legacy. But I just love being able to kind of keep paying it back and forth.
I love it. I loved our conversation today.
Me too.
Very impactful. Very impactful. If our listeners want to get in touch with you or they want to get a copy of your book.
Yes.
How do we get a hold of you?
So the best way to get in touch with me and get a copy of my book is at bookforbalance.com. So it's bookforbalance.com. The Balanced Life Blueprint is there with a bunch of free resources and a workbook to help others implement it. And look forward to seeing people there.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
And thank you, friends, for joining me today and every week here on The Confident Entrepreneur, brought to you by True Fashionistas. If you want to learn more about how I can help you grow your business with the help of online courses or coaching, please head to jenniferannjohnson.com and pick up a copy of my new book, Grace and Grit, Becoming a Confident Entrepreneur. Have a fabulous day.